Using your radar when a man stops interacting. R.A.D.A.R being an acronym we're going to go over tonight because this is going to be an easy way for you to reset things and remember in a very simple way so that you regulate yourself when he stops interacting, because it happens to all of us and it can happen all the time, because it is natural for a man to stop interacting. And that's what we are going to be talking about tonight. I am glad you are here seeing this. It's a special live edition, Make Him Wonder Wednesday, because I actually have folks, two gals on the line who have agreed to do this kind of test case for me, who are going to talk to me and ask a question, and you are going to hear it. And so it's kind of like a live interactive video with talking rather than just typing. And before we get into it, I'll tell you who I am. If you're just watching me here, I'm Coach Paula Grooms, a dating and relationship coach for women, licensed social worker, and author of the book, Why Won't He Commit? How a Man Decides to Make You the One. I coach you to find a Mr. Right, get an ex back, or grow an existing relationship with a man you truly desire. So you create the relationship of your dreams and you level up to the commitment you totally deserve. And this ties into tonight's topic because to get that relationship you deserve and to level up, you have got to use this radar, which is an acronym I'm going to give you, so that you weather a man's natural proclivity to go AWOL, distance, go silent, stop interacting. It can be a very natural part of a relationship trajectory. It can happen, on and off at different times. And it's part of our job, so to speak, to navigate it and make the best of it in terms of knowing and actually quelling our stuff, because it can be very upsetting. It can be downright disappointing, depressing, even. But if you handle it in a way that's going to help him, you help yourself, and you actually help get to a place in your relationship that you're wanting to get to. And the the actual, like, the other result from it that's really great is that he won't feel the need to do it as much, because he will feel safe with you. If you are here, that one of the main things a man must feel is safe in a relationship. And I go into it a lot, but there are two ways a man feels safe to be in a real relationship with you. And definitely he must feel these two things in order to commit to you. And those two things are: he must feel safe that you are in the category of women, because for men, it's two categories. The category of woman to commit to, who is wife, relationship, perhaps even mother material. He must feel that you are in the category of Freud's Madonna whore dichotomy. Not my words, Freud's words. Madonna meaning Mother Mary, and whore, we know that awful word. Uh, every man, almost immediately puts a woman in one or the other categories very quickly. It's innate in the male to do so. And this, he must know to feel safe that you are in the relationship category of girl, not just to have fun with. So that's first and foremost. And if you want to know more about that, look it up. It used to be called Freud's Madonna whore complex. But because they discovered it's so basic, foundational in the male brain, it's now deemed the Madonna whore dichotomy. So for men, as I talk about in my book, things are more black and white in terms of relationships, either on or off, stop or go, yes or no, male or female, Madonna whore. You see, it's not true because we are different according to the man, what we feel and desire from him, etc. But men don't compute that. And it's why another one of my foundational sayings is very important for you, which is what you do with him, he thinks you could do, would do, or are doing with all men. That's absolutely not true, and we know that. But that's not, I should say, it doesn't compute for the man. It's very interesting that it doesn't, but while certainly he can conceptualize that you're with him and only with him, but he thinks you're a hair away from just being with somebody else. And that could seem ridiculous. And most of the time it does seem ridiculous to us. But think about it. You see, a man foundationally is that himself. So he does tend to think that about women. And if he loves you and wants you, he feels that every other man does as well. And that if that man is bigger, stronger, more money, whatever it is that he's deeming is his lack, then he thinks he can lose you quickly. So you must show foundationally that you are in the relationship category. So that's the number one in safety. And second is safe from your emotions that he doesn't connect to, doesn't understand, and has no real ability to handle in a way that can ameliorate it or fix it or whatever. He must feel safe from that. And this topic tonight is about that and very important for you in that way. And why I have made this acronym so that it's very easy for you to understand and remember. Because, like someone said, I don't know who it was, but we don't need more instruction. We need more reminding. Because you're here, you pretty much know what you need to do, but it's the reminding. And when you're going through it at the time, it's really hard because you have to remember, and you may not have me there reminding you at that moment. So we will talk about it. I'm going to go through these acronyms. The acronym and the letters of it to explain to you what R.A.D.A.R is and why you need to remember it, bring it to mind, and execute it when you are in a situation whereby he's gone AWOL, he's distancing, he's not talking to you, he's not answering a text, whatever it is, okay? Because when you get activated, this will help you regulate, which then makes him feel safe. Super important because of another foundational thing in my book, a big principle. Women relate via verbalization. Men relate via action. So when you execute these things and take this action, you are helping yourself immensely to grow the relationship by making him feel safe. And it has the added effect of regulating you. And that's fantastic. So let's go over the first one. The first one is R. R is, I'm going to refer to my notes here so I don't mess it up at all. Oh, that's interesting. We have, I guess she got logged off, which happens. Yeah. So if the caller's here, if you get logged off, you have to call back in. Yeah. And what I can do to stop that is I'm going to pause this 1 second. It's very high tech here. It's actually with a landline. So hold on for me. I'm gonna mute you here for a second. This is the first outing of. Okay, we're back. I think we fixed that. So, all right. The R. What is the R? The R is that you must retreat. When he goes silent, you're going to have to retreat. It's antithetical to what you want to do. You want to text, you want to call, everything in you is telling you to reach out, to say something, to ameliorate whatever you think is the reason why he's gone silent, to fix it. And it's the worst thing you can do. Again, he relates via action. And you will talk to your friends and, mother, sister, whomever. And she'll want to give you the okay to just, okay, well, just tell him blah, 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 or just text him, or just call him, or whatever. Many times she will say, just let him be. He'll come back, whatever. But everything in you, and the higher up you are on a scale of being anxious and having anxious attachment, the more this will happen for you. So if you just learn to actually just force yourself to do it, you may be going against your natural tendencies, which are coming from programming to want to fix it, etc. You must retreat. You can use this saying that I have: when in doubt, wait him out. That is because men relate via action. You're showing him, you see, that you get it. So make sure you must retreat. Okay. Second, now simply accept that this is just happening in the moment. Okay, just accept. R, retreat. Second, accept. You are just going to accept that this is happening for the moment. And then we're going to go down the line here. Accept that it's happening for the moment. I'm going to give you something to help you do that. But the D, don't reach out. Again, the reason I have this acronym is because it's repeating to you the steps of what you shouldn't do. What's retreating? Well, retreating is not doing anything, not reaching out. Accepting is the same thing. Just accept that you Don't need to do anything. D, don't do anything. Don't text. Don't reach out. You likely can look back at times when this has happened to you in the past. And you know that if you just hadn't done anything, everything would be okay. And he would come back. He would regulate. He would go into his man cave. He will come back and everything will be fine. So that's why follow this acronym, write it down, enact it. What's the next A? Now, you're going to have affirmations for yourself. This A is for affirmations that you will keep playing in your mind to override the noise in your head about all the feelings and thoughts about why you should be reaching out and what you need to take action on and all of it. So those types of things, affirmations, write down what you might, put them in the comments. What might you affirm for yourself? I am regulated and waiting patiently, knowing he's reaching out to me. You see how I do it in the here and now. Not that he's going to, but he is. Because that gets into our subconscious. And that's what we need to override. Whatever the affirmation is for you, it could be, I know he wants me. Sometimes it could even be something positive that he said. But really work on those affirmations. That's what you can get busy on. Not texting him, not reaching out to him. What are you going to have in your mind playing over and over and over again so that you regulate? I am regulating myself. I am showing my man. I am calm, confident, and all-knowing. I am the divine feminine energy in his life that receives. You see? Things like that. And just keep playing it over and over so that you override the noise and you're actually putting it into your subconscious. You may not believe it in that moment. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's helping you not do the other things. Remember, all of these are about not doing what you know consciously you should not be doing. And it's the devil on your shoulder, which is your programming and your subconscious and your emotions that make you reach out. And then the final R is, in this instance, it is receiving. You see, we go down the line. When you say, I'm receiving his text, being regulated. I'm receiving him again, now regulated. I have reset. You can say reset if that resonates with you. Another R-E word, resonates. But I am receiving him as he comes back. He is now reset and realigned to reach out to me. I'm receiving it. If it's God, thank you, God, I'm receiving it. Whatever it is, thank you, universe. Thank you, all-powerful being. I'm ready to receive. I am regulated and ready to receive. That's another I am affirmation. See how it all comes together and works together. There's no one thing here that is better than the other, but the middle one here, right? Well, I really shouldn't even say that. They're all super important. Retreating, accepting, don't text, affirm, get ready to receive. Super important. So now we're gonna try out. This is the Q&A portion. We're gonna try out this, and I'm gonna ask those that are here to put in the comments if you can hear when I talk to, the first one is Lynn. I'm gonna see. Hold on one second. Lynn, are you there? Lynn, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi.
Hi.
Good to talk to you. I'm hoping that those here, other people who are here, would you please put in the comments if you can hear Lynn? I'm hoping so. So, Lynn, what question do you have for me tonight? Maybe related to this topic. Hopefully it is, but it's Q&A, so I open it up to anything. So, have at it. Go to it. Yay!
Okay.
We got a lot of yeses. Fantastic. I like your laugh.
Great.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Totally related to your question. And first of all, I appreciate this so much.
You bet.
My question this week, this live is kind of like a day short because I totally talk myself, as I usually do. We've talked before. I talk myself into doing everything opposite of what you just said.
Yeah. You did talk yourself into it?
I am better. What I will say is what I did was, instead of don't text, I did text. And he did respond.
Okay.
He did respond. I didn't ask any questions though. I didn't ask him any questions. I just told him that I was thinking about him and I hope that he was well.
Okay.
And he responded really fast and he said, "Oh, I'm doing good." And he asked me how I was and I said, "I'm okay." And that's where the conversation ended.
Okay.
And
so this is a very good example. I'm really glad we're talking about it. So, okay. So what I hear you saying, and so correct me if I'm wrong, what I hear you saying is that you knew it would be better not to, but you did from your emotions. And is that correct so far? Just a yes or no?
yes.
Okay. All right. So now that you did, how do you feel about it in retrospect?
I feel like I could have just held on a little bit longer. I should have just contained myself. I don't feel great. Even though he did respond, and he responded fast. He didn't take like forever. It took a few minutes, but I still feel like it would have been better if he came to me asking me how I was doing instead of me asking him. And so now I feel like I'm back to square one. If I would have just waited, I don't know. I had been doing good for months. To tell you the truth, I hadn't really texted him in months, but it just hit me out of nowhere, and I felt so bad. And so it made me reach out, and it still didn't get me the results. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking he might recall or something like that, but he didn't follow up. He did ask me how I was doing, but he didn't do what I would hope that he would do.
Right. And I know of this situation. Tell me where things are now, in terms of you Because you've stayed friends, or what's the state of your affair, so to speak?
It kind of has fizzled out for the most part. It seems like he got, when I really tried to pull back as much as possible, he maybe he got in his feelings, and so he just stopped interacting for a long. I mean, actually, just like maybe a week or so. The last week in January, he was still sending videos, funny stuff or whatever. And then all of a sudden, he just stopped.
Okay, but you see, knowing the state of this is that it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning of this video, and what I always say, and is part of my lure him back approach. You cannot do it without no contact. And in your case, Lynn, knowing it, I hope you are seeing that now.
I am.
Okay. Yes. But you have to be strong enough to do it. Because if you're not, he's sure as hell not going to be. Because, you see, he gets his needs met by knowing that you are there. You don't get any of your needs met with this relationship, this pseudo friendship, because it's not even one. Correct?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. But it's odd, because we as the woman, we need to have the cojones to do it. He won't. And he will always be there. And I can say this pretty much unequivocally in your case, that this could absolutely go on for years. I mean, it already has, right?
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
I know that you're heartbroken, because here's the problem for both of you. And this can be the problem for every single woman. Most of the time, for everyone that I coach, it is the case. You love each other. Yeah. If love conquered all, I certainly wouldn't be in business. The world would be a totally different place. It conquers little to nothing. It conquers nothing in a relationship, most typically. It's a feeling that is part of it, and it's why you're in it. But that feeling does nothing to keep a relationship, to have one, to be in it, keep it going. It conquers nothing. And you were thinking, well, if we love each other, then this should work. And I don't understand, because he breadcrumbs me. I mean, he's the king of breadcrumbs. King. But you see, you can only be breadcrumbed if you're accepting them. So again, unfortunately, it all comes back to us. It seems like they get fueled while we get drained. Somebody just made that comment. It can seem like that, yes, because you see, it is yin and yang, cat and mouse. It's predator and prey. What you're saying there, so somebody just made a comment, Lynn, if you didn't see it, it seems like they get fueled while we get drained. It's knowing that you are there should he want more. And because men generally are more isolative, meaning they don't have the resources in terms of life that we do. Meaning, we have our sister friends. We have more emotional resources than a man does, and it's why it's such a big part of my Lure Him Back program, that you have to be able to do the no contact. And then how we talked about it on the subsequent lives, previous lives, that when he initially texts you again after no contact, you can't even accept that, because if you do, he will just coast on that forever, because he's not coming back to get back together. He might be coming back to see if he can have sex with you again. But typically, in most cases, he is not coming back to get back together. Now, I've done this for years, the Lure Him Back approach. And I've had success story after success story, everywhere from he's come back in 24 hours with a ring, they get married, go on. I've had 6 months, and I've had much, much longer than that. I've had everything in between. But when he first does, typically, we ignore it, because it is simply the testing you to push you off your stance of no contact. That's the conquering part of him. We don't have anything in us that's like that. We might with different things in our life, like I don't know, if you play sports, or some women are more competitive than others, but it's like they're gonna win. And their heart is in it too. Like I said, the love is there. This is the problem for you, Lynn. He loves you.
I do.
I know. I do too. And I'm sorry about that. But it's doing nothing for you. I know something very important for you. That if you want the relationship you had with him, you can have it. You can have it. You are trying to eke out this one, thinking somehow, even though you're here, and consciously I think you know everything I say, or you wouldn't be here talking to me. It's not working to get you more. What you're doing
Definitely
is not going to work to get you more. But it's the pain of and the abject for you. I know, because I've spoken with you. I know that your programming is such that you have to go so hard against your programming of trying to please your love interest and being what they want, because then they'll give you the love. And unfortunately, with men, it's not the answer.
right.
So until you, and this is what's ironic about it, until you have the pilotas to cut this off and go on contact, you won't see the degree that he will come back. This eking it out, and here's the unfortunate part. Yes, he loves you, but this does not inspire him to do a thing. I mean, not a thing. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, it makes sense. Because I can feel it. It's like, he gets that little hit from me. I text him out of nowhere, and that's probably just a big hit for his ego. Doesn't do anything.
Yes.
But
yes, you are feeding it. You are feeding it. And you're not making him wonder. Until you stop, you're not making him wonder.
Yeah.
So what?
Like I said, I have been doing so good, but I think, I have been doing really good with, contact longer than what I had usually been doing it. But I don't know. I guess sometimes, contact is so hard. You feel like you're getting so far away while you in. It's like, oh, you get that rush of like, this is like really getting away from me. And because there's no movement, no nothing, at least with the little breadcrumbs, you're like, okay, well, he's still right there. But then, like, your topic tonight is that he withdraws and he totally stops. That, even though you've been in no contact, even the little breadcrumbs, when they stop, you go upside, you go on a roller coaster.
Yeah, but you can step off. Yeah. You just have to step off. Your life is too important for this.
Yeah.
But you see, you are experiencing, because I know the backstory here, you are creating your programmed experience of love.
Yeah.
Love interest, when you were being programmed, was not there. You got breadcrumbed by that love interest then. You're programmed for it. Do you see?
Yeah.
So you must fight like hell against this, or you will continue to live it. And you don't make any change in him. He doesn't need to, because he's getting filled. Do you see?
I do. I get it so much, and there's really no but it's just the other day, I felt so bad.
You felt so bad, so you did it, or you felt bad after?
Both.
Okay. You see, it didn't help.
No, it didn't.
Just one second, Opal. If you wanna call in, you can, right? But I know you're part of the club, so you can, and I know you have the number to call, so you can call. So there is no more for me, unfortunately, Lynn, to say, because you've heard it all. You need reminding. You know everything I've said, and you have to have that kind of come to Jesus moment of, I have to change my life and stop this, because I'm living out my programmed experience of love, and I'm going to continue to do that. And I'm not changing him.
Right.
You have to become the change you want him to make. I think the biggest thing for you is that you fear, well, he just will go away.
That's correct. That is a big,
Mm-hmm.
that's my fear.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I got to talk myself to say, oh, that's fine. I need that. And it just hurts so bad to think about that.
Yes, but what do you have?
Oh, I don't have
Right. And this is assuring it, because he will do this as long as you will. There is no question about it.
Well, after the other day and after this conversation, I'm really, since if I did what the last couple months up until a couple of days ago, I know I can go further. His birthday is in April. I'm already, planning and preparing for all of that, not calling him or reaching out to him on his birthday. And, so I'm making preparations.
Great.
To push through that.
You can always, it's kind of like, there's nothing quite as difficult. And when we're programmed, it's like not having a love that is there, and we know they're out there. It's worse than death, because death is at least final, and we know they're no longer there.
Right.
It's like an addiction, though. You need to get back on, people who are in recovery. It's not like the first time they get in recovery, they usually succeed. They typically don't. But you must begin. Your beginning is making a vow to yourself that you've tried the other way. What is the harm of trying this? And you need to do it hard. And look, this is working tonight. If as part of the club, you can be here and I can keep you on track. You can write in any question. There's no better time than to start now, because when you do it, he will be back. He will be back. There's no question, okay? He will be back. So you can then write or tell me or whatever what it is he sends. And then, because it's what you're thinking is, again, this, okay, when he writes this, I'll be able to, he's coming back. I'll be able to tell you, no, not the time to answer. When you've done it in the past, he has incrementally stepped it up, but you don't keep it up. And then it all falls apart.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Good to talk to you. You can do this.
Thank you very much.
You can do it. I really want this for you. It will also make you move on and have a new you got to start dating again. It's time.
And before you move on quickly,
yeah,
I was telling you about my hiking guy. You said, "Oh, you have nothing to lose." Mm-hmm. So I reached out to him the other day.
Yeah,
and he was saying that he said something like, "Oh, you're the one that goes like ghost out of nowhere," and
weird, right?
It was all through text. Yeah, and I told him, I said, I tried to sexy mother it, I guess, through text message. I said, ghosting. I said, I'm right here. I've been right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, you're right. I have no excuse. I just been working hard. And, he said, but my biggest problem right now is that my car is down.
Said, okay. Okay. So there's something I'm getting the sense that he's really insecure. And does that ring true to you? He doesn't feel he's good enough. He has enough for you. He's good enough for you. That kind of feeling.
At the same, yes. And then I think sometimes he wants me to chase him. Like, one time before, he's had my number since like December, and we haven't seen each other. So it's like, and then, but the times when he has reached out, he'll say, "Oh, you know, you can call me too," that type of thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't get into that at all. You've tried now. He's telling you like the thing with the car. He's giving, here's the thing. A man gives you any excuse, receive it, accept it, move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just not ready.
Well, my thing is, I met him in a hiking group,
Mm-hmm.
so I am going to participate in the hiking group
Okay.
when the weather breaks in a couple of weeks.
Okay, good.
But he participates almost every Saturday. So how do I make it where, even though I'm going to be seeing him and I'm just, I'm going to give up on, how do I make it not awkward about men being in the group at the same time?
Well, what will he, I would treat him like, be very bubbly and friendly, and will he say something maybe like, you could be cute about that, like, what did he say about the car exactly?
He just told me that his car is down, so I guess that's why he doesn't feel
Okay.
dating.
Okay. So if he says anything to you, that's where the sexy mother flirty comes in.
Okay.
If he, you can say something like, "Yeah, what about? Did you get your car up and running?"
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah, or when you get your car up and running, it'd be fun to take a spin or something like that. Or meet up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you can do that.
No harm. Yeah. All right, good. Glad you were here. Thank you for sharing your story. And you can do this. And I'm going to go on to, you're welcome. Great to talk to you. Kat. Are you there?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, make sure to speak up.
Okay. All right.
Can everybody hear Kat? Type yes in the chat if you can hear Kat. Okay, so Kat. Yay! Jamara says yes.
For
Good.
letting me join tonight.
Yes. What's going on?
I really appreciate it also.
Sure.
Well, also listening to the previous person was really helpful. And what you kind of said, when a man gives an excuse, receive it, accept it.
Mm-hmm.
It's super tough sometimes to do that in the moment, but like just hearing that, you really gotta hold that in your head. And I also feel like I related to the breadcrumb king. I think I have one of those also.
Okay. So what's happening right now for you? Because I know your story a little bit too.
So kind of a lot has happened since my story. So right now, basically, I think like the other girl said, I kind of I know things that you said. I have your head your voice in my head, and I haven't taken a back step like this in a month, and I backstep. So I'm in the doghouse. Sorry, let me get my thoughts here. I basically reached out. Yeah, that's where it really lies. I was waiting to hear when we were going to spend time together, and he had assured me, let me check my schedule, let me get back to you.
So you reached out asking to see him?
Yes.
Okay. So Yeah. Have you fallen into that? It seems like you fall into that pattern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a big problem because, and here's specifically for him, because I know the situation that we talked about in the beginning of this video. We talked about Freud's Madonna whore dichotomy and how foundational is in men.
Mhm.
Make no mistake that every man has it, but depending upon culture, religion, family of origin, maybe just the I would say it's a learned thing. It's very important that you understand that this man has it to a very high level on the scale.
Yeah.
And you are feeding into that. You're not going to be in the right category for commitment if that's what you want with him.
Yeah, I can kind of right. I guess I should probably fast forward a little and just share with you. We were on the phone last night, and that conversation it had to do with he said Friday. Let's try for Friday, and
When he said, hold on one second, when he said, let's try for Friday, were you the one that initiated you wanted to see him?
yeah.
Yeah. You see, you have to understand that for the man, it's a bit emasculating. You're not letting him drive it. It's like you always driving the car. The two of you are going out.
Yeah.
See?
I hate that. Yeah, that's a good.
It's a good analogy, right? Because he wants to drive.
Yeah.
So if you're always, taking the keys and getting in the driver's seat, no. So you're on the phone with him. See, it's you that your programming is such that if I don't ask, he won't. I won't see him. I won't have my love interest. And you have anxious attachment quite a bit. Correct?
Yeah. That's yes.
And it's hurting you big time. You're on the phone with him. Here's something that I think for you, Kat, it just went ding 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 in my head that will help you a lot. Be in the moment with him.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the phone with him. Enjoy that conversation. He's talking to me. He's spending energy towards me. He's giving me his energy and time. You see? And then let him drive it. And then you have to go ahead.
This is what happened, and this is I had no idea what to say. He flat out asked me. We talked about Friday for maybe a minute, and I suggested doing something different than watching a movie and sleeping together. And he said, that sounds like a date. We're just, casual. And I said, and then he said to me, Carol or Pat, what are we doing? He said, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
And but he asked me in a genuine, he wasn't, to me, I stayed calm. I wasn't sure what to say. I said, I don't really want to talk about this right now. I think that's a bigger conversation. Maybe we can talk about it on Friday. And then I said that, and I think he kind of pushed a little bit, and then I couldn't. The conversation it blew up. The entire conversation blew up, and because I was kind of upset, I started overthinking in my head. This is just sex, and he's asking me where this is going or what we're doing. And my fear initially was, this is going to end tonight, and he's asking me what we're doing. And as soon as I tell him that I don't think this is just sex, that he's going to say we can't do this anymore. What I did say was, I said, do you really think that I am the type of woman to just be casual? I think that you know me well enough, and that's really not all that I want here. And he said, yes, I do know that, but I'm also not sure if you just want to, if you want to sleep, if you want to have sex like all the time, maybe that's just, and he said, I'm starting to feel, I'm asking what we're doing because I'm starting to feel, I've been feeling bad about it, and I don't know, I don't think this is going I'm just feeling bad that we're sleeping together, and I don't feel like I want more.
Okay, so what happened?
When I say the conversation blew up, it was a 3-hour conversation.
Oh my gosh.
He was upset. He was mad. He was on his way going into the gym. I was upset with myself because for the past month, I haven't approached this topic. I haven't asked him about.
Well, he did.
Any other way.
He did, because you're not, Kat, because I know the last time we talked, I told you can have this.
Yeah.
If you change. I'm telling you, you can have it. I know you can. By everything you've said, he stayed on the phone with you. You push. You've allowed yourself to morph back into a situationship rather than do the tough work to make it morph into relationship, which there was a timeline when he gave you the gifts and you had that opportunity. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. You can do that again. You absolutely, this is the good news. You can do it again, but you don't want to do the hard work that it takes. I don't know whether it's because you don't believe. And I think that's the issue. You don't believe that you can. And you don't believe in this method.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
What you're saying, and that you're right. I mean,
yeah. And so I can't help you. I just can't, because you have to understand that this is the way it works. And he has that residual feeling for you that can grow, but you won't allow for the time that it's going to take.
Yeah.
You won't allow for the resetting things. You won't do you walking away and having no contact that allows for him. You started it. Do you remember when you started it?
Yeah.
And then he did come back. And then you immediately went, and this is all from programming. Hopefully you did hear Lynn's stuff, because it's the heavy duty programming. And it's so painful for you to be apart from your love interest, because what anxious attachment is at the heart of it is that if they're think about when if there is a baby without the parent, the mother figure, which is basically the love interest, the terror that they feel, like they've done studies whereby they take the mom out of the room of the baby. This is how they do for anxious attachment. Here's a securely attached, and it's a certain age range, right, of the baby, and they have the baby with the mother in the room with the researcher, and the mother leaves the baby. A securely attached baby cries. When the mother comes back, the securely attached baby is soothed. There's two types of attachment insecure: avoidant insecure and just insecure. The insecure baby cries when the mom leaves. When the mom comes back, the baby isn't soothed. It takes forever to soothe the baby. So some of this is just intrinsic, you see? A lot of it's learned. But you were probably that one. Avoidant is when the mom leaves, the baby doesn't even cry. And but you can tell it's distressed. But when the mom comes back, it's also not going towards her. He's that.
Hearing that so differently. Yeah.
He's that.
I haven't heard it like that before. It makes so much sense in how he acts.
But you see,
I'm confused by the anxious. That I haven't heard that either, and it's.
But you see, if you're not one of you, and this is with all relationships, at least one of you needs to have secure attachment. So let's get you there, because that's something you have control over. You don't have control over him.
No.
But we can change that for you. But you don't believe it, and therefore you don't do it. Now, you can... Let me just finish here. You can either fix it one of two ways. You can do it and see if it works, then you'll believe it. Or you can attempt to believe it and do it. But if you keep going this way, all I can tell you is you're going to have the pain you have.
By continuing casually, I guess.
Of course. It's deteriorated to this. But you, because of the attachment needs, negative attention's better than none at all. And you just keep doing it just to have, because this relationship, and most all of them, is giving you your programmed experience of what love is. Fraught with emotional upheaval. Does that make sense?
Yeah, think I struggle so much because we had like a great night, and then I feel like I hate saying it, but I feel like I ruined it after that. And
what was the great night? Not before that phone call?
Yeah, before the 2 days before Valentine's Day, he had essentially, like, he went to go hold my hand, and he hasn't done that. It's taken a lot of time to even get there.
And I think we didn't we talk, and I said what you should do for Valentine's Day, and did you do that?
I did, and then I felt like I got a curveball thrown at me.
What do you mean?
I didn't know how to respond.
Okay, what happened?
Well, I should have, because I think I wasn't sure what you would have told me. I sent him a funny picture of a cat, that we had talked about, and he sent back, before I even say it, I already know
just say it because
you had told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said Happy Friday. I said Happy V-Day. He said Happy Friday.
Okay. And for him, that's big.
I had no idea what to do with that.
Nothing. Heart it.
Yeah, and I didn't do what you said. I didn't do what you said, and
What happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
I pushed. I said, that's not how you spell it. Try again. Mm-hmm. And I teased him, and
at least it was you did it that way.
Yeah. Well, then he said Happy Friday. Like, he combined
okay, all right.
The words.
All right, and that would have been a ha-ha on that. And leave it.
Yeah, I said ha-ha. I continued, and I said, third time's a charm.
Yeah.
And he said happy, and this is where it's embarrassing. I said he said Happy V-Day with a question mark. Like, he couldn't say it normally.
Yeah, so what?
Right.
So what? You're interacting. Do you see that now?
Right.
Do you see that now?
Completely.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right. That's all you need then. Okay? So you had a decent night, and then you got him on the phone. If you would just get that you must pull back, you must use this R.A.D.A.R. If you commit to it and you start to do it, no matter how painful it is, I'm not saying it's not going to be hard. This could be the hardest thing you will ever do in your life. And that
definitely
is not hyperbole. Listen, there are awful things in life. War and pestilence and awful disease and death and whatever. But this is your challenge. This is when you do have this kind of attachment issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to overcome it, and you can. When people say, well, I'm just anxiously attached. Well, okay, you're just keep affirming a problem. Mm-hmm. Let's not do that. Let's change it, right? And you can. You can change this, and through you, he will change. He has a love for you.
Can I ask, even if he is, because what you had said to me the other day was or maybe it was actually, I think, I was watching the other night, and you said, a good man will, if he doesn't, he will let you go.
Mm-hmm.
And
mm-hmm.
I do know that when he said to me on the phone the other night, what are we doing? I don't feel good about doing this.
Yeah. He is a good man.
My question is that if you're saying that I could have it, but he does seem to kind of be saying, he said to me, this is casual. I don't want, it's not going to change for me. It hasn't for 6 months, but we've been
yes, because you are not inspiring him as a man. He must start to miss you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Gail just said, listen to Paula, do the work. The retreat, pull back, no contact work. It's golden. It hurts, yet so worth it. Did no contact for almost a year for an ex to come back and confess his feelings. Yep. Happens all the time. I mean, all the time.
I think I missed the second A. I have retreat, accept, don't do anything.
Affirm, make the affirmations. What are you going to, what's the change you want? I am changing. I am so happy and grateful now that I am a secure, worthy opponent who inspires him, put his name, to connect, communicate, and commit. Then get busy on the imaginal act and manifesting it. And you have to make it when we do this work, and it is so painful. It is so tough. You just heard Lynn's story. It is tough. Gail just put, yes. Thanks, Gail. Great comment. You've been through it.
Thank you.
Yeah. You see, there isn't anyone who's been in love and it's unrequited that you don't have to do some of this. He returned after 5 years, said everything. Yep. Didn't work out the way I wanted, yet I am so much better for it. Okay. Yeah, isn't that? And I'm one of those. Because I believed. And you have a belief issue, Kara, and you're getting, I'm one of them. Gail, mine's even longer than yours. 5 years. It is like a formula.
I'm supposed to see him on Friday.
What's that?
I am supposed to see him on Friday, and that was the plan, was to see each other on Friday.
But after you had that kind of talk, why would you? What are you showing him? You're showing him, I'll take anything. You don't want me.
Okay.
Here's what you do. If you want to start to set it right, but you have to actually do the hard work, and we need to be working together for you to do this, because to do it alone is like nearly impossible. You're seeing that, correct? What do you think I'm going to tell you to do?
Probably say we don't need to see each other on Friday.
Is that how you'd say it?
No. I'm not sure how I would say it, because it wouldn't be natural to me. So.
Okay. Here's what it is. It's a text.
Yeah.
And it's going to take everything in you, rip you apart. You say, I've been thinking about what you said in our call. And you're right. I respect it. And I respect myself. And it is best that we stop this. That's what I want. I wish you all the best, and that you'll understand. Something like that. What if you did that? What would he text back?
Probably something nice.
Like what?
Like, I'm glad you understand, probably.
Okay. And you heart it. And then you go no contact. And then it starts to work.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to miss you. He will be back. And then you start to set things right because you have become the change you wish to experience. It's reflected back to you. But everything in you is, he's just going to go away. Lynn's story, and I wish she was here to say it. She knows better than anybody. Doesn't work. You cannot have the breadcrumbs, which is tantamount to just the friends.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get out, we can take a situationship to relationship. You absolutely can. But you have to say, I'm in a relationship. I am relationship material. I accept nothing less than a relationship. I'm having my relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Start to manifest it. Believing is seeing, not seeing is believing. This is a good question. When you go no contact, does he not eventually give up when you don't respond back if he does not come right back? Is he a man? If he's a man, he has a penis. If he has a penis, he doesn't give up if he wants you. And it's actually you not answering those first texts, because here's what a man respects. And I'm answering a question. Yes, Gail just put it absolutely. No, he won't give up. You become his challenge. Yes, like in my book, challenge, competition, conquering. It's actually your act of not giving in that makes you more interesting to him, that makes him want you more. It's completely antithetical to how we are. Night and day, sun and rain, yin and yang, male and female. Until you get this and give the man the experience he needs to get there. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we can talk more about this, but I think you know that if you go on Friday, you will feel worse. He is feeling very bad about it. He has told you several times now.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving him an experience of you that makes him feel bad. Not working to get you there. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Hearing it like that is definitely.
Yeah. So
helpful.
if you just do that, it's going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done. Gonna be super hard. Super hard things get us the most. Very hard to get a college degree. very hard to get a master's degree, very hard to get a PhD, very hard to get certain jobs, right?
Mhm.
The hardest things are what make, you know, the easy stuff we can all do, but they give us the most value in life.
Mhm.
So start it, then we have to get to work, because if you're left to your own devices, you know you're going to go down the path, and you're going to, like the addict, you're going to go off the wagon.
Yeah.
And if you do this, I'm telling you, and you can almost take it to the bank, he will be back. And it's through your change. When he said to you, remember when he said to you, this is the cat I want.
Mhm.
Gretchen, Paula, we need your story. You know,
Mhm.
thank you. Somebody just asked Kat, Paula, we need your story. Um, oh, thank you, Mimi. I'm going to put this up. Thanks. You know what? When I get, and maybe y'all can help me because I need help, but I get to 3,000 subscribers here, I'll tell my story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, Kat, thank you for coming on. Let's make
Thank
a
you.
time and talk, because I want to help you. You so deserve it. He does have feelings for you. You're not letting them blossom. You see,
Mhm.
the feelings he has for you will only come about by him obtaining you,
Yeah.
not
A lot of space.
right. He's an achieving guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to present that challenge.
Yes, I
Okay?
know. Oh.
You can do it. It's life changing. You have a community here. I hope you
Yeah,
will.
that's helpful to know too.
I
Thank
hope you
you.
will. I hope you will,
All
because you're
right.
so deserving of it. You're lovely. You're deserving of it. You're hurting yourself, and that can change.
Thank you, Ross.
Absolutely. So thank you for, yes. So here, for everybody, thank you for being here tonight. Great note to end on. Let's all send love to Kat. Send also love to Lynn. Everybody here, we all need it when going through. It truly is life changing. Anything life changing is hard. So you heard this tonight. I'm really happy that Kat and Lynn came on. If you want to be on with me, you need to become a member of the 80/20 Wonder Club. And that will give you access. And you can be talking to me anytime. I can do the lives. We did 2 folks tonight, but we can always do more. I want to give that as a special part of the 80/20 Wonder Club, because there you get all the podcast episodes. You get my making my mindset manual, which is a video series of stuff to do. And now this is an added bonus so that you can be in a format to ask me a question. We have just an easy way for you to be on with your voice. Obviously, it's public, so we use um, pseudonyms, and you're giving okay by being on. This is a format of being live. So, but you see how helpful it is. There isn't a human out there who hasn't had, and certainly a woman who hasn't had an experience like we're talking about tonight. And it can be so helpful. One story and knowing that someone else did it, like we heard, I think it was, Gail, it's inspiring. And yeah, I have it. And I'll be telling mine. It's so important to know that it works. And yes, I have so many women that, it's wonderful to be able to get that. But my space is such that a lot of people don't want to come on and say it. So I'm so grateful for people that do. Very sweet, Gail said, you can do it, Kat. And yes, you can. It's committing to it. It's believing. So I hope this was helpful today. And if you would help me by sharing it, before you log off tonight, please put a like on it because that helps the algorithms. Sharing it, commenting, watching, and that helps the algorithms generate. Social media has changed an enormous amount and has made it very difficult for people in my space, certainly. And so all those little things, subscribing if you haven't, please subscribe so that you get an alert bell. And then it's make sure it's in the description. Join the 80/20 Wonder Club so that we can be talking, so I get to know you. And it helps when I know your story so that, we can really dive into it in the way that I did. So just before we go, I'm going to say for Opal, I made sure that you can listen back to calls. You're going to understand what I mean by this, of last week and this week. Go back and listen. You will get more of probably the reason I say I would not put that because it's we don't want to put you in the wrong category. Listen back, especially to last week's call and this week's, the one we had yesterday, I believe. But I think that will direct you because, again, we can't talk tonight, so I'm not really able to help you craft. But I remember that we did craft it the week before. Join 80/20 episodes are useful. Still a member. Listen and take notes as I do chores or drive. Oh, that's great, Gail. Thank you so much. I'm going to put that one up too. And what a wonderful one to end with. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone here. Wonderful to talk to you. It's always inspiring because you're all doing it, and that's just so wonderful. So if we can get this community going and through the 80/20 Wonder Club, I get to talk to you. It's so exciting, and I'm so happy to do that. So with that, we will say good night. Do not forget to be making your man wonder. And
goodbye.
I thought that would be fun to hear that. And I'm going to say goodbye myself. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. And again, thank you. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.